Just the best fighting the best. It's the only way to truly find out who's number one.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for a great night of grappling? This is live on FloGrappling right here from Austin, Texas. The Tezos, Who's Number One, Who's Next finale, and it's presented by Fat Tire. 8 bouts tonight and 16 of the greatest grapplers on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
My name's Fabian, I'm the captain of the 4th String Army. I'm coming out of here from Long Island. I'm a brown belt out of Sarah BJJ and Vanguard BJJ. I would describe my jiu-jitsu as fast-paced, very exciting. I usually push the pace and try to break the other person mentally before I get the submission.
I'm Maximilian Hanson. I'm from Canada, but I currently train at Toledo, Ohio, Adamus Jiu-Jitsu under Dante Leon. I'm a killer be killed kind of grappler. I'm gonna go right into the fire. I want a submission. I want people that actually want to watch jiu-jitsu. I'm not here to win just by an inch. It has to be absolute. It's not really jiu-jitsu in my mind if it doesn't end in a submission.
He comes from a really tough gym. They're real physical, but I'm not a stranger to that, so I'm excited to see how his leg locks match up against mine.
His top game is a little bit suspect. He doesn't have much tight passing, and I think he's going to struggle against someone who can keep up with him in the leg lock exchanges.
I think his mistake would be getting into scrambles with me and then getting tired. Once he's tired, it's like blood in the water. I sense it.
I feel absolutely ready to take out Fabian. I'm not here to stall. I'm here to finish. This is the beginning for me. I believe that I should be here, and I know my name's going to be a household name in jiu-jitsu.
Expect excitement, expect fireworks, expect submissions, expect some style, some flavor.
Fabian, all respect to you, my man, but only one person can come out the winner.
Good luck.
And this is the first preliminary match of the evening with a 15-minute time limit. Wearing the blue, training out of Toledo, Ohio, and representing Pedigo Submission Fighting, Max Hanson.
Our first match of tonight's event. No pressure to get the show started, but Max Hanson very coolly, very calmly taken to the mat here for his official Who's Number One debut.
He's got a reassured looking on his face, which is good because I am fired up, man. The adrenaline is pumping through me. Great to be back at WNO. This is going to be a fire first match.
And his opponent wearing the red, training out of Long Island, New York, representing Sarah Jiu-Jitsu, Flavor Fabe, Fabian Ramirez.
Wow, a lot of support here in the crowd for Flavor Fabe, a.k.a. Fabian Ramirez. A big personality in a lighter weight grappler. And, man, not one afraid to take on a challenge because he's got a kind of a big size disadvantage against Hanson here.
100%.
As we can see here by looking at the tail of the tape, the height there, 5'9" advantage, but a full 20 pounds pretty much separates them. Hanson a lot bigger. Our referee, Steve Hodgett, getting things underway here. Our first match of the night here, Who's Number One?
Fight. You mentioned Fabian's bold personality. Well, it definitely transfers over into his grappling abilities as well. Hanson perhaps a little more comfortable on the feet. Not surprised to see Fabian sit to guard there rather quickly.
Well, Fabian's scrappy, right? He's a scrapper. He loves getting, mixed up in it. He prefers an opponent who's going to come at him, and I think that Max is going to match that energy. Immediately looking to try and establish grips. There was a brief look at a body lock pass there from the top position. You can see Fabian trying to disrupt the base that well-known Kazushi, breaking the balance, but I like this posture, and this, I think, is where the weight advantage comes into play for Hanson. Ramirez weighed in 157, whereas Hanson, 174, it's 17 pounds more. So you have to think that it's gonna be a big advantage, especially in passing this open guard.
Yeah, and as time goes on. But Fabian's absolutely game. We keep saying it, but we can point to his match actually in the WNX opening episode where he went 45 minutes with Andrew Tackett. You know, he was in some tough positions, had to get out, escape the back several times. Andrew ended up winning that, but it goes to show that Fabian has the heart to go for a long time against a very skilled and tough opponent.
Basically what you're saying is the cardio's not an issue here.
I think he can go for as long as he needs to, yeah.
Now Hanson, he was also eliminated in the opening round of the Who's Next Submission Fighter Challenge show. So I think that this is an opportunity for redemption for both of these competitors. Hanson lost to Kyle Chambers, eventual finalist, and Hanson now establishes his presence in this match, passing into the mount. And
yeah,
now,
that was beautiful work from Hanson there. Really, really skilled passing, great use of the shin and just kind of weaving over into mount. But Fabian has demonstrated great control, or excuse me, great defense in the past. Looking pretty calm here, but Max is definitely in control, full speed ahead.
Some hand fighting going on there between Hanson and Ramirez, I think is oh, look at this, the body triangle now. That Hanson's actually locked on a body triangle from top position. This is going to be very difficult for Ramirez to escape from. It basically kills the hip escape completely. He's going to be 100% unable to hip away from that. And now look at this, transitioning to the back. That is a beautiful piece of work there from Hanson.
Yeah, very, very dominant position. In that kind of awkward side mount, let's call it, with the body triangle, that puts so much pressure on the rib cage. It is devastating to be stuck there, and Fabian is definitely in a lot of trouble here. You can see the strain on his face.
There's a big squeeze, a big squeeze. You can see Hanson adjusts the body triangle, briefly lets it go. He's switching sides there, but the pressure and the hooks, the control hasn't let up for 1 second. And yes, you were right that the pressure of that body triangle, that's the kind of thing. It's the person puts that squeeze on, and you imagine that the person inside the body triangle, the power bar, just goes down and down and down, and that's the perfect time to smash that rear naked choke in.
Yeah, if you're Max Hanson, you're very happy with how these opening minutes have gone. Pretty dominant, to say the least, you know, and now he's working on some hand fighting here. Nearly under the chin for a moment. Fabian does a good job of throwing up some defense, trying to get his shoulders on the mat. Nearly there, he gets there. Great work,
yes, much better now for Ramirez. He is by no means out of trouble, but at the very least is not dealing with that back attack anymore, and now in a position to recover somewhat of a guard. But I like the fact that Hanson has not disengaged throughout the sequence. Yes, he lost the back control, but he's still connected. And oh, now this is different. But he maintained connection. And now Fabian's on his feet. Will we see some wrestling? Will we see roles reverse? Will we see Fabian play on top?
I think Max is going right back to the well. You know, he really found a lot of positive momentum getting on top early there. Didn't mind that Fabian pulled guard. He'll probably wait for the same thing to happen. Fabian knows he has to get busy, of course, right?
Oh, now we see a little top game there from Fabian, and I like the way that he's floating over the top of those hooks.
I refuse to make any more predictions tonight. I can't go down like that early.
Well, we're going to call our first judge's favor now, and I think it's pretty clear which way it's going to go. I would be surprised if it's not for Hanson. Oh, look at this leg lock attack here. Hanson's on a heel hook.
Fabian slips it real quick. And there we see our first judge's favor on the screen there for blue. No surprise, Max Hanson. Great opening 5 minutes there. But Fabian looking much better here so far.
Yeah, I think that the first couple of minutes of the match don't necessarily reflect themselves in the match overall. And I think that Fabian, you know, he could just be a slow starter. Maybe he needs those first couple of minutes to get rid of the adrenaline, to get rid of the nerves, to kind of get the body warm before he can impose himself. And I think that's what we saw, you know, because far from being out of sorts from that early onslaught, he's now answered with his own guard pass into top position. Nice recovery there from Hanson, but this goes to show that Ramirez is game, and he's not going to stop.
Fabian looking great on top here. Nearly chasing the back. Max is in trouble. Max seems to be fading a little bit. I don't know what happened out there, but he lost a lot of energy, it looks like. Fabian looking to dig an underhook. But great pressure. Reversal of fortune here for the moment, but see if it's enough to truly turn the tide so far in this match.
See the difference here in the guard passing, and even Max Hanson mentioned it in the pre-fight promo video, was that Hanson's forward pressure when passing the guard was a lot different. That Ramirez was on top and was kind of trying to find a way around those obstacles, but there's a big difference in the way that they were approaching the guard and putting their opponent under pressure. And now back on their feet. I feel like we're pretty much now exactly there we are, the halfway mark of this match. And I have to wonder, they've had a solid look at enough of each other's games, top and bottom now, that they should be in a position to kind of figure out, okay, this is what I need to do to win. Do you think that we're at that stage in the match yet?
I think neither is really satisfied with the position, or they shouldn't be. Max had a great opening, but he's really let his foot off the gas a little bit here, and Fabian's been coming on stronger. I haven't seen enough from Fabian, I think, to win. It should have ended right now. But it's interesting to see that Max is not really as aggressive as his opening minutes here.
Right. Yeah, he's actually elected to kind of take off that pressure a little bit. And, you know, the match is, oh, look at that, again onto the neck is Ramirez. This is surprising that Hanson has allowed his posture to be compromised in such a way. Ramirez now working a front headlock. Sets up the guard pass.
Really, though, Fabian needs to secure a dominant position, like pass into the mount, to take the back, to really even the odds. Even though he's completely shifted the tempo of this match for now, he still hasn't secured what he needs to do to control the position, I think.
Hasn't had his moment of authority like Hanson had earlier, for sure.
You achieve those positions by doing some things like controlling the tempo, controlling the pace.
Very true. Oh, there's a nice takedown there. Puts Hanson down. I love Hanson's guard recovery and his defense from bottom, but you can't win a match purely by defending, Chase. I think that the judges, they want to see more attacks from Hanson, because let's say, okay, Hanson had his moment of dominance early in the match. If he continues to cruise like this, Fabian has an opportunity to score back. I don't think that Fabian's done anything yet that's better than Hanson's moment,
Well
even
timed.
this reversal. But
Movement from Hanson there, that was really smooth. Fabian had a quick look at the net, but was not in the right position to get it. And now Max is, I think, much more comfortable here in this position on top.
As soon as you can, let's flip the heist back to our feet. Forward shifting here.
we're going to see our next judge's favor in just a second.
Heist here. Left collar tie. Start heisting, exactly. Heist here. Start building up to a right knee. You got about 5 minutes left. Cross Ashi if you need here. You can play between heisting and when he pushes back into you, use it to enter his legs.
Judges in favor of red.
Wow, there you have it. So after that initial first 5 minutes of Max Hanson being in control, the judges so far in that second 5 minutes thought that Fabian's work was better. But look at this. I feel that maybe is going to inspire Hanson to get a little more busy now, because he made a face. He made a face when he heard that. It was here, you know, he could hear it over the PA, and he's like, wait, what? So he's going to think, okay, I gotta get back on it. And look at that, immediately stepping forward to his opponent.
Snapping. Let's feel his collar tie off. Still, Max, good. Snap for the head. Nice.
But coming forward like this gives Fabian an opportunity to snag something.
Good job. Everyone, Max. Get flat.
Left arm cross frame on his shoulder. Yep. Keep that cross frame in now. Come on, right arm inside. Good.
I gotta say, I'm really enjoying watching Max Hanson's guard passing. I think this is a great example of the modern no-gi guard passing game, utilizing that body lock from top, utilizing the legs to go over the opponent's guard. Very close to securing top position there, but look at this. Fabian, he's just about managed to bring his knee in, but it's not much of a frame to keep his opponent off him.
Max has been very efficient so far with his passing, where Fabian moves a lot, opting for maybe a little more outside style. Well, here we see Max diving on the top though, so mixing it up, but again going back to what he's best at here with this pressure passing style.
Looks like Max had the like a back take answer to the false reap there for a second. Fabian's looked for it more than once throughout this match.
Make sure your left elbow stays in.
And that is the one thing that we have not really seen in this match, is a significant submission attack. Chase, we've seen periods of positional dominance. I feel like one really good, strong submission attack at this point in the match could be enough. And look at this, we're actually seeing Fabian Rodriguez had a brief moment at a reverse armbar there, but I wouldn't say that the arm was truly in danger. And he potentially gives up position. Hanson's looking for the back here. Ramirez clears the hooks and manages to turn back in.
Yeah, what an awesome scramble right there. Ramirez knowing that the match could go either way at this point in time when he has to put his foot on the gas. Really went for something that was a little risky, but it opened up a scramble. Saw him come up on top again. Max Hanson would much rather be on top, I think, at this point in the match. So that was very wise of Fabian to do that. But here we are back on the feet, neutral position here. Fatigue clearly setting in on both athletes.
Yeah.
Let's see who has more heart. At this point, it's going to come down to that.
It does come down to that. I mean, with just over a minute and a half remaining in this match, I'm sure both these athletes are digging deep at this stage. They haven't stopped fighting, but you can see the movements are just a little looser than they were before. Gas tanks are starting to run empty. We love to see them leave it all on the mat. You know what? This last 5 minutes or so, haven't kind of been analyzing it quite as closely as our ringside judges. Of course, that is their sole purpose here, is to watch very closely. But I wonder how they're going to call this match. It's still 1 minute for either of these athletes to really impose themselves on the other and make a statement that the judges will remember, because there's always that thing, isn't it? What they see last is what they kind of is freshest in their memory.
Yeah, it absolutely makes a strong impression what happens right before the bell. I really have enjoyed Fabian's work rate, but I feel like Max has been a little more successful overall. He's achieved positions, of course, the back being the most significant thing we saw in the opening minutes of the match. So that, to me, may be enough, but I have to give Fabian credit's due, and that he's pushed Max for over half the match at some points. But it almost feels like ancient history, that back attack from earlier, right?
It really does. That was a long time ago. And the positional dominance is definitely part of the criteria that our judges are required to consider. But also they want to know what the athlete did when they got that position as well. And that is the end of the match. Gonna go to a judge's decision now. We will check the scorecards and our referees will present the official winner. But let's take a look at the best moments from the match, Chase. Just talk us through it quickly.
Yeah, here we see some of that opening hand fighting. Transition from Max to the back here. dangerous position, but Fabian was able to get out. And then we saw a little bit of a tempo change here, where Max ended up on bottom, and Fabian was able to show off some nice passing here. Never quite solidified a dominant position, though. Never really settled in. This was the closest he got, but Max was able to frame away and get back. Some nice takedowns from Fabian as well.
By split decision, we'll go to the judges' cards, and your winner, representing Pedigo Submission Fighting, Max Hanson!
Well, an emotional moment, I think, for Max Hanson there, and shares a brief moment there with his opponent, Fabian Ramirez. A very gutsy display from both athletes, and the winner by split decision, the Canadian Max Hanson. Well, let's toss it over to Kendall Rusing and get some words from the winner.
Amazing work here, Max. Congratulations on a beautiful showing. First and foremost, I want to say congratulations. Second, I want to say, what was going through your head when you heard the call on the second judge's prediction who was winning during the 10-minute mark?
I believe that from 5 minutes to 10 minutes, Fabian went ahead. He was passing. His pace, and I was kind of, so essentially I got back for 5 minutes. So in that second period, I was forcing a little bit, and that's my mistake, so I'm on 5. Tried to push, I didn't tell. I think he felt tired. But yeah, I won the W.
I would imagine nothing less. Congratulations. We hope to see you back and safe travels home.
Thank you.
Well, that's it. Our first match of the night over and done with, and we'll be right back with more action. Don't go anywhere.
This Tezos Who's Number One is brought to you by Tezos, the energy-efficient blockchain